Hello there! Today we're going to be looking at Matchbox Super Kings. And in fact, we're going to be looking at these Matchbox Super Kings. Now, I'm not going to bother with any of the history, that kind of stuff. I just want to look at these toys, or models, if you will.
Want to come for a ride in my Super King Porsche? I'm real.
Matchbox Super Kings. They're so real you can practically drive them.
I'll just overtake this truck.
So, what we're going to do, have a look at these ones that I have on the turning table thing. Not going to bother too much about the history, as I say. And if you like this video at any moment, if at any moment you're thinking, hey, I like this video, do make sure you click that little like indicator so that everyone knows that you like this video. Also, if you're not already subscribed, why not hit that subscribe button? It's free, it's easy to do. You don't have to do it now. Think about it for a moment and then just click on it. It does really help the channel out. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into these Super Kings.
Hello there.
Now, here you can see we have 6 models or toys, whichever you will, in front of us. All of these are from my childhood, apart from this Porsche here, because this is my childhood one, and well, it looks like my childhood one, doesn't it? It got severely battered, and not only that, I gave this to my sons to play with when they were mere toddlers, and so it took an extra hard battering. I think it's actually stood up pretty well to all that play. It's been played with outside as well, so all the wheels are roughed up. But there you go. It is what it is. I very luckily found this one in a charity store in virtually mint condition for about 50 cents. So it came home with me, obviously. Right, let's begin with the truck. So this is a Ford truck, obviously for some kind of road crew, and it should be delivering tarmac as per the sign on the side there, I guess. Now, this one, I have no idea when I got this, or if this was even for me or my father perhaps, because it is from 1973, and I would not have been getting these things, well, until at least after 1977 when I was born, and I would guess for the first few years I was probably too young for these. But I always remember this being around, so it's quite possible it was one of my earliest ever toys, or I inherited it from my father. It's pretty cool. I'm just noticing now it has these little lines on the wheels, which actually reduces the resistance of the wheels and makes it go faster. Not that you really want to be racing it because it's a truck, but maybe it's late for a delivery of tarmac, in which case it's kind of handy, it can go a little bit faster. Pretty basic little thing. You can pop the bonnet open here and you can see it has a nice little engine in there, which is a nice little effect, whatever. Little wheels that come down here to stop the trailer from falling over when it's parked, and you can tip it up, and it does have quite a strong sort of piston bit. I don't know what's happened to my words today, I do apologize. And this is the K18 articulated tipper truck, made in England, 1973, Lesney Products. It is unfortunately missing the flap that goes on the back here. That has been lost to the sands of time. But there you go. I love it because it's full of nostalgia for me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, now here we have the Matra Rancho. Really nice model, this one. I actually remember getting this at Christmas. I never really played with it because I never really found it that exciting. But as we can see, this is a pursuit vehicle. It's an Intercepter, Interceptor 5000. The only other pursuit vehicle that I know that was an Interceptor would have been the V8 Interceptor from Mad Max. So anyway, it is a pretty cool little model. You can see here it's got the little slot in it where it used to have like a little turny plastic bit that held it into its packaging. 1982 there underneath, I could see. Very nice. Doesn't have opening front doors, but it does have a hatch and a boot or access to the rear. I don't think this came with any cones or anything that you could store in there. I'm pretty sure that they had many versions of this. It does have a tow hook, so it can tow a caravan or a trailer or a boat or some description. It's a very strange bit of damage here on the side. I'm not sure how that has occurred to be just in one point. Probably got smashed against something. All these were just dumped in a box, even though when I got this I would have opened it up and I pretty much just put it on a shelf, never played with it. So somewhere along the line it's managed to pick up a little bit of damage. But even though it is a bit boring as a toy, it does look quite distinctive in that yellow, black and red livery. A little bit of suspension. It's quite weak on the back. Old springs. Rolls really well. Right, okay, I think that's enough on this one. Next. Now, next up we have the 911 Turbo, and this is a personal favourite of mine. I absolutely love this car, and if I had the money and somewhere to put it, I would buy a real one for sure. It's possibly my favourite supercar next to the Ferrari 308. Unfortunately, well, I don't quite mind it having turbo here on the side of this obvious model, not in real life. I do think it's a shame that they didn't follow the lines through, that it's just on the doors, and I don't like having a massive Porsche sign on the front. I'm also not overly keen on the red bumpers, but it is what it is, and it is still pretty cool. Again, I would have got this when I was an early teen, I think, and just put it on a shelf. When is this from? 1979. So maybe I got it even earlier. I don't ever remember playing with it, but I do remember it being on the shelf quite a bit. Wheels jam up a little bit. It doesn't really drive very well anymore, unfortunately. But apart from a slight little chip here, bodywork's in really good condition. A couple of scrapes on the roof. Hell of a lot of dust inside it. Look at that dust. That's vintage retro toy guy side dust, that is. I'm not sure if it's more comforting if you know that it's your own dust. So, oh yeah, there's a lot of dust in there as well. Really could do with a bit of a clean. I think I'm going to do that in a minute. Get the old toothbrush out, not the one that I use for my teeth, but an old toothbrush, and give this a quick clean up. Right, okay. The Porsche 911 Turbo. Okay, and now we have the last three of the models, the three racing cars. Now, it's kind of fitting that I do these last, because I have been lying to you this entire video. That's right. These three I said at the beginning were Super Kings, but they're not. They are Matchbox Racing Specials.
And the truth shall set you free!
So, yeah, as I was saying, these are racing specials. If we look underneath this Chevrolet here, this is just the Pro Stocker, but here we see Matchbox Specials. It's even on the wheels, Racing Special, unless it's supposed to be a Racing Special wheel. But anyway, this particular one is actually my favourite of the bunch. I do remember getting this at Christmas, and it must have been Christmas 1982-83, because that was also when I got this one. These were obviously still available. But yeah, there you go. It's had a bit of a life. It's got some chips in it, and it's got a dent in the roof as well. Again, I don't know if I dented it or damaged it whilst I had it, or whether my kids did it when I let them play with it. But it's still not in too bad condition, and obviously it being my childhood version, I love it dearly. Here we have the Ferrari 512BB. Also, as we can see here, specials also from 1983. The scale is also slightly different. These are 140, whereas I thought they were 136, something like that. Does this have the scaling on it? Can anyone see a scaling? I can't see a scaling on there. Let me know in the comments below if you know if this is a different scale. I don't think so. So, yes, this one also an original childhood toy. Pretty cool. I did have this one. I had a black and yellowy reddy version of this, which I believe my kids completely destroyed, which was a bit of a shame. But there you go. They're toys. They're supposed to be played with. They entertained my children for a while, so that's pretty cool. And then here we have the Le Mans series Porsche CKS. My favorite Porsches are the 917s.
Holy mother!
But that's by the by. Would be nice if they did this in the Golf livery, light blue, orange stripe, but maybe they didn't. Well, obviously they didn't have the rights to do that. I always find that a bit strange that you'd have to buy the rights to put someone's own promotional stuff on your vehicle or on your toy. You would be giving someone free promotion, but okay, whatever. Them the rules, people, them the rules. But yeah, as I say, this wasn't actually my childhood version, or it isn't actually my childhood version, because this is my childhood version. And this is pretty beat up. As I say, also my kids have played with this. But having this sort of wedge of cheese aerodynamic nose does mean that it can go underneath other cars. And I remember I did used to play with this one, and I used to use it to scoop up other cars like that, which explains why it's so damaged at the front and here and on the roof fin, I guess you call that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one when I was a kid. These all have a bit of suspension in them. They don't feel as good as the original Super Kings. This feels really smooth and this is a bit stiff. And so, with that, we come to the end of the video. My lovely Matchbox Super Kings and Racing Specials. I think we've all learned something today. If you've learned something, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Why not check out some of my other videos as well, covering a lot of the Corgi stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. So here we have the Matra Rancho. It's a Rancho. Look, it's a Rancho. I'm going to start again. Shh, don't tell anyone.